Hi there. Now we're going to talk about question formation, and we're going to begin by looking at forming simple questions using auxiliary verbs. Okay, we have some examples here. An auxiliary verb can be verbs like to be, modal verbs, and compound verbs like the present tense with have. Here are some examples. I am a farmer, she can swim, and Nancy has eaten. Okay, let's turn those into questions. I am a farmer becomes, are you a farmer? She can swim. Can she swim? And Nancy has eaten becomes, has Nancy eaten? Notice what we're doing here with the subject and the auxiliary verb. We're inverting them. Okay. I am, are you? She can she? Nancy has Nancy? We can form simple yes-no questions with the present and past simple verbs by inverting the auxiliary verb to do with the subject. Okay, so the normal structure is auxiliary verb, subject, and then the infinitive of the verb. Let's look at some examples. Okay, here we have some sentences, some statements. Okay, we're going to turn them into questions. Shauna runs fast. Okay, does Shauna run fast? To make inversion here with the verb to run, we have to put the auxiliary verb do, okay, and conjugate it. Does Shauna run fast? We need some milk. Do we need some milk? And Fatima ate all of the plums. This is in the past tense, so instead of do, we say did. Did Fatima eat all of the plums? Okay, now we can form more complex questions or open questions. These are questions where the answer is not yes or no, okay? By using question words such as who, what, when, where, why, how much, how many, etc. Okay, and we form those putting the question word first, and then the auxiliary verb, the subject, and then the infinitive, QASI. Let's look at some examples. Here are the same examples that we saw before, but we're going to ask more complex questions. Shauna runs fast. Okay, let's put a question word. How fast? How fast? And then the auxiliary does. Subject, Shauna. Infinitive, run. How fast does Shauna run? We need some milk. How much milk do we need? Fatima ate all of the plums. Why? Why did Fatima eat all of the plums? Okay, now let's look at a different type of question. These are called subject questions. In subject questions, we don't need to use inversion at all because we're asking a question about the subject of a sentence. Let's look at some examples. The same examples that we saw before, but this time we need to know about the subject of the sentence. Shauna runs fast, but we don't know about Shauna, so we ask the question who. Who runs fast? We simply replace the word Shauna, the subject, with a question word related to the subject, who. Who runs fast? We need some milk. Who needs some milk? Fatima ate all of the plums. Who ate all of the plums? Okay, oftentimes the subject is a person, right? So we've used who. Okay, now we're going to look at a final type of question, the indirect question. Indirect questions are more formal and polite. And they often begin with expressions like, could you tell me? Do you know? Or I was wondering if or whether. Let's look at some examples. Here are some direct questions. What time is it? When does the 15A bus stop here? Do you like goat's milk? Okay, these are just simple direct questions, but we're going to make them more polite, okay? What time is it can be, could you tell me what time it is? Now notice that we're no longer inverting the subject and the verb in the last part of the sentence. Okay, we don't say what time is it, We say what time it is at the end of the sentence, okay? The inversion happens at the beginning of the sentence, okay? Could you? Okay, you could you? Could you tell me what time it is? Okay, inversion doesn't happen here. When does the 15A bus stop here becomes, do you know? Do you know when the 15A bus stops here? And do you like goat's milk becomes, I was wondering if you like goat's milk. Okay, there's no question mark there at all because it's not really a question. Okay, you're just wondering. Of course, you're prompting someone to answer the question. So it is a type of question, but without the question mark. Okay, that's all. It's up to you now to practice and do many exercises until you've learned it well.